Welcome to the Profitable Plate Podcast with your host, James Mendez, CPA.
All right. Well, hello, Yvonne. How are you?
Hi.
Pleasure to see you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're on the show for us. I got to tell you, I was pretty excited because, we've known you for a while, and we've known that you have gone through this journey with the coffee house and the Evolve coffee and matcha, the whole thing, and I'm intrigued by it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, you know what, I need to get you on and talk with us and kind of tell us about your journey. So maybe let's start off like this. Tell me, number one, today, what is Evolve all about?
Mm-hmm.
Tell us the whole thing.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, I've always been inspired by coffee shops. I mean, in college, I spent a considerable amount of time in them. I worked in one when I was in college as well. And I always just loved the environment that it fostered for people. Usually it's people's first stop of the day before work. Mm-hmm. It's sort of that jolt of joy that you get before starting your day. And for me, it was always like a ritual. It was something that was just programmed part of my day. Even after college, when I was entering the workforce, I would always stop and get coffee.
Yeah.
So I've just loved the whole everything about it, and it's a gathering place for people. It truly is that third place, and so really the vision came about when I started drinking matcha. Believe it or not.
Okay.
So I'm a longtime coffee drinker, but I started drinking matcha in I think it was 2017, around that time, because I was having some stomach problems, and I read that matcha is easier on the body and the caffeine isn't as intense, and I started drinking it and I loved it. I read up a lot about it. It's considered a superfood, the ceremonial version of it, a lot of antioxidants, benefits, all that, without sacrificing the caffeine content, which was huge because I was if you're a coffee drinker, as many people are, you're hard pressed to find something that equals the feeling and, the satisfaction you get from drinking coffee.
Sure. And
I found that matcha was the alternative to that. Yeah.
Nice. I've kind of read a little bit about it. I drink it occasionally. I don't nowhere by birth like you are on it. But I understand there's you said ritual. I've heard there is a kind of ritualization to it. Like the Japanese apparently have some kind of ritual that when they drink the tea. What is that?
Sure. Well, right. So if you're centuries, it was more of a ritualistic, a tea ceremony, if you will. Often, monks would drink it to stay alert during, meditation and things like that. So it's a very old ritual in that sense.
Okay.
And I'd say it's really only become popular over the past, I guess, 5 to 10 years.
Right.
It's really exploded now, obviously, but more mainstream now. But it's a very old, people have been drinking matcha for centuries.
Long time.
Yeah.
Now, something I read was that you imported from Japan. Is that correct?
Yes. So we have a vendor that has relationships with farmers in Japan.
Wow.
And so we buy from them and they buy from Japan.
Nice. Okay, good deal. So
a wholesaler.
Straight from the stores, right?
Yeah.
Now, did you have any effects of the tariffs and stuff that came through with that? So you had to kind of deal with that.
Sure. It was like a double whammy too, because there was so much demand of matcha. And also with the tariffs as well. So it really drove.
And tariffs.
Yeah, it drove the price up considerably. Not only matcha, but coffee as well, both.
Right.
So.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because there's a lot of coffees that are coming from South America, I believe, right?
Yes, actually, I think the biggest exporter is Brazil.
Brazil.
But certainly other countries too. There's Ethiopia, but yes, South America, Central America are big exporters.
Okay. Now, in your shop, you guys are selling some coffees as well. some different types. What are some real popular coffees that you're selling there?
Yeah. So you're talking about like the whole bean?
The whole bean.
Whole
coffee.
beans.
Yeah. I saw
Yeah.
like some bags in your shop.
Right. So we don't roast our beans in-house, but we do source them from a local roaster in town,
nice.
Mojo Coffee. And they have coffee from all different regions.
Yeah. Okay.
So, Costa Rica, Honduras, Ethiopia, Guatemala.
Okay.
So, and they all sell really well.
Okay.
They do a great job at roasting. So,
You guys have like I saw like some pastries and stuff. Do you ever do anything beyond the pastries, like any kind of sandwich things or whatever?
Yeah, we have like lunch items. We do like pressed sandwiches. We have like like a chicken salad croissant. At one of our locations, our Lakeview location, we do an acai bowl, and so we do basic coffee shop offerings, muffins, stuff like that.
Yeah, nice. So you guys, I mean, the market out there is kind of competitive. I mean, you got the PJs and the Starbucks and all that, but it seems to me, you guys kind of stand out a little bit. You seem to differentiate yourselves a little bit from these other folks here. Because I've talked to some people like they're kind of tired of the Starbucks and things, and it doesn't seem like, I don't know what the reputation is, but your stuff just seems more organic, more natural, and so I think there's an attraction for that, right?
Well, when I opened in 2020, again, like with the matcha, I was thinking about opening just a matcha cafe.
Okay.
But I knew that in New Orleans specifically, there wasn't a huge market for it.
Right.
And I just thought, well, wouldn't it be better if I had both to appeal to both, types of customers?
Okay.
And so we have had coffee drinkers switch to matcha, and also people that knew about matcha at the time were like, oh my gosh, there's actually a place that is offering ceremonial grade matcha versus like some diluted powder with sugar. So that could be a draw, I think, for a lot of people, is the quality of the matcha that we actually offer, in addition to like good quality coffee. Yeah.
Okay, that is fantastic. Let me ask you, so if you kind of opened the door for this, so you started in 2020.
Yep.
I kind of recall there was some things going on in 2020, right?
Oh my goodness. Yes. So I had just left my corporate job. I used to work in finance for almost a decade. I left corporate America and I liquidated my 401k, my savings, and I put it all into Evolve.
Okay.
And a week after our grand opening, literally 7 days, is when the shutdown was announced.
Wow.
Yeah.
What timing?
So it was very surreal.
Yeah.
And on many, not just because there was a global pandemic, that was one thing, but also being a new business owner, having just opened the doors, not knowing what was going to happen next, and the realization that I had just left, like the comfort of, my job.
Check and everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm sitting here thinking, well, first of all, it is scary enough to open up your own place. Forget some other pandemic going on in the world. Just, can my doors just stay open normally?
Yeah.
For, a month, 2 months, a year, So tell me, how did you get through this?
Well, there were a lot of tears, but also, in that moment, this is a pretty pivotal moment for me and a very defining moment. And I was, standing in my shop one day, probably, a week into the shutdown, because in Jefferson Parish, I don't know if you remembered, but people were allowed to come in and take things to go. They just couldn't sit down.
Right. Okay.
Unlike Orleans, where everyone more or less just shut down. So we were allowed to stay open. So it was just me a lot of those days. I did have an employee that I hired that was like, hey, like I can't afford to pay you right now. So just hang tight until we figured this out. And so it was just me. But one of the moments I had was, if I could go back and if I knew this was coming, would I still have made this decision, or would I have stayed in my corporate job? Right. And the answer was, I would not have stayed in my corporate job. As terrifying and just the unknown and all of that as it was, I didn't regret my decision. And so at that moment, I was like, okay, sink or swim. There's no other way. Yeah.
You're just going to do it, right?
You just do it. You just do what you have to do. Yeah.
And so you're getting through COVID.
Hmm.
You still just have the one location at this time.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
When did you decide to open another location?
Oh, well, fast forward, I would say about a year into it was a slow start, obviously, for the pandemic and just because we were so new and nobody knew we were there. But slowly but surely, like people would come in and they wouldn't have a place to sit down, so they would leave.
Yeah.
And that's when I kind of realized, oh, maybe I should start looking for a bigger space. Because I saw like people really liked the environment, they loved it. And I would just, it would be heartbreaking for them to come in, oh, there's nowhere to sit, let's go somewhere else. So that's kind of when I started looking, probably about like a year, like 12 months into it, I started noticing that pattern.
How did you start preparing for a second location?
It was more or less like, where would I want it to go? I would start thinking about locations. Mm-hmm. And I always said, like, if I could pick any location, it would be Lakeview. Okay. Because I used to be a runner and I would run in City Park all the time. And after our long runs, we would go to that Starbucks at the end of Harrison. Yeah. And there would be a line out the door. Everyone looked miserable. And I was like, I do feel like Lakeview is an underserved market when it comes to coffee. I mean, they do have certain spots, but I would say a lot of those are like cafes first, coffee second. So I really wanted to put like a specialty coffee cafe in Lakeview to be like a true like coffee house.
Okay. And so your other location is on Harrison?
Yes.
Great location, great area.
Yeah.
That's a hard find. So obviously you were very diligent in looking for that.
Yeah, I would say patience. There's no reason to expand super quickly. The only reason is if the location is great and there's demand, I would say. Yeah.
Now, what were some challenges that you faced with opening up a second location? What were you dealing with?
Oh, well, I was dealing a lot in my personal life, so that was very challenging. I moved twice that year. It was just a lot on myself. I didn't really have as much help as I did for the first location. And I didn't really have, I couldn't afford like a full-fledged team like I have now. So a lot of it was just done on my own. Yeah. And it was very hard. Right. Yeah.
But you made it through it.
Yes.
Obviously. And then I understand then you went to another location. That's even braver.
So that was like a happy accident. We were in Lakeside Mall right now, and the GM of Lakeside Mall actually reached out to me at the end of 2023, asking if we had any interest in going into the mall where Starbucks used to be. Okay. The only catch was that Starbucks took their coffee stand with them, so we would have to build one. Right. So, but yeah, it worked out in the end. It was a good move for us because Lakeside is a very healthy mall. Mm-hmm. And we're really happy to be there.
And is that, I guess, is probably one of your, just because of the traffic, is one of your higher volume areas, would it be? Or just, am I imagining that? Is it just kind of one of the other three just as good?
Sure. I would say it depends on the season. Okay. Obviously Christmas time is a busier season, the holiday season. But like in the summer right now, it's slower than some of the other stores. So, yeah, it just depends.
Yeah, sometimes I pass by Lakeside Mall and I see the parking lot like packed. Like, where are these people?
Yes, no, Lakeside I feel like is always packed. Yeah.
Crazy. Now, what's even better is this is what it really amazed me is that location number 4 just opened up.
Location number 4, in Mandeville.
Nice. You seem to be picking some really nice spots. So those are some really great areas. Mandeville, same thing as with Lakeview. I see it as a very, just a lot of potential. There's the coffee shops there seem to be few and far between. Mm-hmm. Certainly they're not as saturated as New Orleans. And I just always wondered why aren't more coffee shops expanding to Mandeville. And so a good opportunity had come along again, and the location was right, and I was like, well, if no one else is going to do it, I'll do it. Right. Why not? Right? Why not?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So let me ask you this: so you have really, 6 years, you've done a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
that is a lot of 4 locations, 6 years, starting up when COVID starts. That's
Right.
a lot. I would venture to say you would have a lot to offer somebody that wanted to know, okay, if I wanted to get started, what do I need to be thinking about? What I need to be prepared for? What recommendation would you tell them to just have a mindset for?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll put it to you this way. As much as I knew to expect the unexpected, there's always something that is just going to blow your mind,
Yeah.
COVID being that for me.
Yeah.
But I would say just have an open mind, and that, like, it's like, like there are known knowns and known unknowns. Have you ever heard this? Unknown unknowns. Known unknowns, basically. So things are going to arise.
Right.
You just don't know what they are yet.
Right.
So I think just having the mindset of knowing there's going to be challenges and knowing it's going to suck at times, a lot of the time, as long as you have that mentality. And, I think, I think certainly it's easy to romanticize owning a business. It's easy to, want to do the branding and want to have, all of the creative process. But which is definitely the fuel, right? Is like to have the vision, but to also temper that with a lot of this is going to suck.
I like that's good terminology. It's just going to suck. Just be ready, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like you don't know what those things are going to be. I mean, certainly no one predicted COVID, but just go in with the mindset that you're going to have challenges.
That's wise wisdom to give to somebody. So I like that. I'm going to ask you something because this is my background from finance, accounting, that sort of thing. What are some of the things that you mentioned about the tariffs, dealing with some of that? How do you navigate with your cost and keeping inventory under control and those sorts of things? Where did you learn about some of this stuff? It's the other thing, because that's not something you just know right off the bat. You gotta control your cost and your inventory and all of these things. Those are unique skills.
Well, I would say when it comes to pricing things, you kind of just look around.
Okay.
Look at other businesses, whatever you're selling, whatever product you're selling, right? I think like you could either be like a value-based business or a premium. We're sort of the premium because we offer a premium product.
Right.
So we're not like your discount, coffee shop. People go in with the expectation that they're going to pay a premium price for a premium product. And then really you just look around and basically look at, your peers and see what they're charging for things. And you just price similarly, but also like it has to make sense with, your own cost of goods and looking at margins and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that is some smart stuff. And did you by chance have anything that could give you guidance? Were there any books or courses or anything that you recall, or was this just learned on the job kind of thing?
I definitely did a lot of due diligence, about 2 years before I pulled the trigger.
Okay.
I did read this book called The E-Myth.
Yes. Okay.
The Entrepreneur Myth. I think that's a very eye-opening book to read for anyone just starting out in entrepreneurship. And so I read the E-Myth. I did take some courses. I watched a lot of YouTubes, really just any education I could find that I thought would be relevant to me. I sort of immersed myself. I listened to podcasts.
Yeah.
I, watch YouTubes. I actually went around in certain coffee shops in the city and interviewed the owners if I could get in touch with them to ask them what their pain points were.
Nice.
So just gathering as much information as you possibly can.
Yeah. So it sounds to me you were quite prepared before. You didn't just arbitrarily say, I'm going to go open up the place and see what happens. You were quite prepared. So preparation is
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Do your due diligence, I'd say. I mean, you're never going to be 100% ready, but you can be close,
That is fantastic. So I'm going to wrap it up with this because I think this we called the profitable plate, and so it's all about kind of having a nice dinner or something about that. What would be one of your favorite foods or stuff that you enjoy about this area that you look forward on a weekend, like you might go and have dinner and eat this weekend?
Yeah.
Like a restaurant, but just maybe a dish you look forward to.
So actually have been to several restaurants recently. I think that the Uptown area and just the city in general in New Orleans offers so many good options. One that I had gone to recently, though, that just kind of blew my mind. It was like a set menu, and they just bring out courses. But there was I think tuna tartare on the menu. There was this really good, I think it was a salmon curry that was really good. Yeah, it was just, and the service was great. The atmosphere was great. I had no complaints.
Had a nice impression on you.
Yes.
Yeah, nice. Well, we're going to have to look it up and go
I
check it
know.
out for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. I sure do appreciate you coming on with us.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
Wish you the best.
Thanks. Appreciate you.
You have been listening to The Profitable Plate, presented by Arete Partners, providing restaurant owners with solid business advice, tax strategy, and back-office accounting.